Hello, I'm Kevin Lemaire, and welcome to my usability test review and my website recommendations for FGTV's website. Now, we'll just get right into it. Getting started, the home page right here, you can see how it's laid out. The nav bar right up here, everything that you need on the site is all right there. And moving down, if you move down the site, we get started immediately with the merch, which is a good bit of the website. This is a merchandise website. It has a it has a bit of a hierarchy. It does have a hierarchy, but it's all within the merchandise here. Bestsellers, bundles, classics. But if you've noticed, as you go through here, it's all just merchandise start from the top. So we get down to the bottom underneath the merchandise, and you have a few games here that you can download and play. And then we have this part right here, which is music that FGTV produces, and then the links for the social media with that YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Music. And then down here, we have the mailing list you can sign up for. And at the very bottom, down here, we have the channels, the 5 channels that pretty much made them famous. And then down here, we have 2 boxes for toys and collectibles and FGTV books. So going back to the top, we have up here, if we want to go directly to, if we're going to shop, we want to go directly to clothes, we have apparel. Apparel is the same thing, just goes straight down. In these different pages, they all utilize all of the rules of thirds, and everything just looks nice. There's nothing that's too cluttered, too messy. Plush toys, if you look for games are right here. Everything just goes right down. There's nothing that confuses you really. If you're a experienced user, you shouldn't really have too much of a problem navigating the site. As you can see, everything is where it should be, and the channels right here, all of them lined up, and we have trading cards. Taking a minute to load. There we go. So we get the trading cards, and everything is all there. So everything that you need to know, if you're an experienced user to the website, you will know just by looking at the nav bar. So let's start. So we have the site analysis, and after just looking at it, we just looked through everything that was provided by the website. I think I clicked on everything except for the shopping cart, which was up in the top right hand corner. As I was saying when we were looking through it, if you are familiar with the internet, you have experience, you shouldn't have any problem navigating the site. The site is very professionally laid out. It's obvious that the designers knew what they were doing. Very neat, not messy at all, not cluttered. There's a couple of things that I personally noticed. Actually, really, mostly only one thing. But I noticed that if you're an inexperienced user, if you don't really know how to read all that well, let's say you're a little kid and you're on the internet on your tablet, as a lot of little kids are these days, you have you're gonna have a tendency to recognize symbols and recognize icons more than you recognize words. So, and as we know, little kids might get frustrated on their own if they're not, having someone there to push them along, and they might just quit and leave the website. So most of the channels, actually all of the channels, they were all at the bottom of the page. You had to read up at the top, right over here. You have to read where it says channels, and if you don't know how to read channels, then you have to scroll all the way down and browse through all of the different things, and you have to basically wait until you come across something that you recognize. So I was thinking that it might be better if in the hierarchy those channels, since that's what made them famous, were a little bit higher. Right down here where they have the bar set up, I would think that that would be right at the top instead of right here, because this is the top of the website. So I would think that that could fit nicely right underneath here, so that whoever's coming to the website, usually they're checking out FGTV because they want to see some of the entertainment or the content, the videos that they want. So in that case, and for little kids, have that bar move over here and move it up on the page. That way it's easier to recognize, easier to see. But aside from that, everything else seems to work fairly well. and very little confusion about where to go if you need to find something. In the mobile view, I didn't find anything really different. The only thing that I did find that could have been useful that was different was this right here, which was a mailing list pop-up that came right as you signed into the site. So as soon as you sign in, the homepage comes up as you see, and then that mailing list pops up as well. If there was something like that on the other site, on the main page or on the full website, I think that would be a little bit better as opposed to having the mailing list be all the way to down at the bottom, right above where the channels list was. And aside from that, it was a very streamlined experience, just like this. Pretty much the whole thing. It was just a little bit more scrolling because it's a smaller area. As far as the testing process, it went very well. It was a very relaxed atmosphere. We had 3 participants from 3 different age groups and 3 different generations. There were 3 different levels also of experience and skill level as far as usability on the internet. And each participant was given these same tasks to move through, and each participant moved at their own pace, and they all got it done with a considerable gap in time. Um, most most of the gap on the latter end of that was with the younger of the participants who had the less experience, because finding some of the things posed to be a challenge due to their lower reading levels, which brought me to what I was saying earlier about how some users who may be visiting the site they may know about FGTV, not know about other channels, and want to see those other channels, but don't really know what channels looks like as a word and don't really know how to use it or how to read it. So every participant took their time. They had no pressure. Everything was good. It was a good, relaxed atmosphere, and they were made aware that this is not about testing them. It was about testing the site and how easy it is, or how frustrating, or how much you enjoyed it. And they were told that they should say anything that comes to mind regarding those areas, regarding anything really. And as a result of that, I found that that all 3 participants were able to complete the tasks. The younger of the participants was required a little bit of assistance and a little bit of hints, and the more experienced users, although one finished faster than the other, they both were able to finish the tasks fairly easily and had a fairly enjoyable experience. The redesign strategy of this website, as far as I'm concerned, is I think that not only do the channels links need to be moved up in the hierarchy, but I also believe that the sign up pop up for email signups should also be on the full website. I think having that pop up and being given the option to click away and to get it out of there would not only save space on the website itself, but it also puts it right there in the user's face instead of scrolling down and happening upon it. If they do, it actually gives them the option right away. And as far as the channels links, that should be higher and should be one of the first things that you see, because that's what made them famous to begin with. And I believe that putting that there would mean that you would have more traffic on in a cyclical fashion. Basically, more people on the channels means more people to the sites. And overall, I think that FGTV's page is a very good page, very functional and very user-friendly. It just needs a couple of twerks like what I had spoken of earlier. SS Sniper Wolf's merch website has something like what I was talking about that would show icons as opposed to making someone read and connect them right to YouTube. And my resources for this project are the FGTV merchandise website, obviously, and the SS Sniper Wolf merchandise website. And that is all from my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Kevin Lemaire. Thank you very much for listening.